Hello, it's Jimmy here at O'Reilly's. I have here a Toyota Hilux 2020. It's got this engine in it. Okay, we're going to get inside, start the engine up. Now apparently it's got DPF issues. They've got a plant mechanic here who's tried to fix it but with no avail, so they've called me in to have a look. Check your engine, visit dealer. Pre-collision malfunction. Let's see what else have we got. It's a DPF issue is what he said he's looking at. But yeah, we do get all of that pre-collision stuff does come on when you've got a DPF blocked, which is very silly. You get all of these traction lights come on as well. Very common. I've done a couple of these before. I might have some videos on my channel of similar models of these. We don't see a lot of them because they're not a very popular car in England. Okay, diagnostic wise, I've got the Launch Euro Tab 3, but we'll use this one. This is a new tool that I've got. This is the Launch X431 Euro. Okay, we'll get this switched on. Okay, so we're in. This is the X431 Euro. There's the model number. We're going to go to automotive. We'll read the VIN number here of the vehicle, and then it should allow us to do a scan. Okay, so it's asking us to pick which model it is. So it is a Toyota Hilux. Okay, so here's what we're looking at. Try and get that without an angle where you can see it. There's some glare on the screen. 2020 model, 40,000 miles. Okay, we're just running a scan now. Going to go through all of the systems. P2458 Particulate Filter Regeneration Duration. P245800 Particulate Filter Regeneration Duration. So we're going to go in and we'll look at some live data. But what I think this has done is most likely it's sat idling too long, or it's been in traffic. These do have like a manual regen button down here. You're supposed to press that when it gets into like an amber state, but obviously hasn't been pressed. So we're just going to see what sort of live data we can find here. So idle, we have 579, 597, sorry, 598 or 599, around that area. So I'm going to mix up a solution of the Launch DPF cleaner. Can be diluted down with some water. So that can now be connected to the DPF here. What we've done is we've disconnected the pressure sensor. This one goes before the DPF, and you got another pipe there that goes after the DPF. Just squeeze in that fluid, and obviously this is connected up to our compressor here. So that compressor is now running. We have that up to 130 psi. So we've got some of these other tools here. This is what we use, a manometer, to confirm that the pressure sensor is giving the same reading, and just a pressure gauge to make sure that these metal pipes are not blocked with soot. So we just connect that up, make sure that we're not building up pressure there. Okay, now all of the fluid's gone in, we can connect back up the sensor to the hose. Now we're back inside the vehicle. We can see that the pressure has come down to 140. So we're going to hold the revs up around 3000 RPM, and we should see that pressure come down. We should be able to press it here so we can see a gauge. Let's put that rev back up. We've dropped a bit. If we hold the revs at sort of 3000, it's hard to keep the revs steady on these new cars. They sort of want to run away. If we watch this chart here, we should see that dropping down, staying around sort of 2500 RPM there now. So we'll just leave it there. We would want to see that come down around sort of 40 millibars or 40 HPA. Okay, now the pressure's come down a bit. What we're going to do is go into special functions and just try to reset this DPF. Let's have a look at what sort of resets we have on this model now. DPF deposition value clear. Yep, so we're going to press that one. You should only do this after the DPF's been cleaned. It's not safe to do that if you haven't cleaned your DPF, because you will damage the DPF. It will overheat if you reset it without it being clean. And now if we go back, we should be able to clear the fault codes. Now on some of these you can't clear the fault code, even though you have done it. What you need to do on a lot of these Toyotas is set off the vehicle's own regeneration process. It's the only way that I've found to be able to clear the fault codes, but we'll try to get it set. What we're going to do as well is clear the oil, because once the DPF's blocked you will get an oil deterioration fault. Okay, so we've just reset the oil. That's done by holding the reset button and turning the ignition on. That just gives you a little walkthrough there, what you're supposed to do to get that to reset. So I'm going to come out here and try and clear the EOBD codes as well. Okay, now like I've said before, we have to set off this regeneration process on these models. It's the only way I've found to be able to reset it. Even though it doesn't need it, the DPF's going to be cleaned. We just need to run it for a few minutes, just so the vehicle can basically reset itself, because even by telling it it's got a new DPF, by having the DPF clean, it doesn't allow you to reset the fault. Okay, so I was having a lot of difficulty there getting the lights to disappear. The faults wouldn't reset. It wouldn't reset with launch. I've tried Autel, I've tried all of the diagnostic tools I've got, and what I ended up doing was disconnecting the battery for a couple of minutes, reconnecting it, and the lights have gone away. So now what I've done is I've pressed the manual regeneration button just to set that off. I've been ages, at least an hour here, trying different tools, resetting the fault code, resetting the DPF, resetting the oil. I've tried everything, but yeah, we managed to get the light off by disconnecting the battery, which is pretty stupid. I've got £20,000 worth of diagnostic tools and none of them could reset it. But it's just, that's Toyota for you. So run around about 1200 RPM and the pressure is 13 millibars. We've only got 1 or 2 millibars of pressure at idle, but it's this that won't reset. It's the percentage of soot. Just try and get that to... Give it a spray. Around that edge there, see it's blocked. So now we've got the fifth injector clean. This is from the vaporizer. We're just going to clean off air now. We've put brake cleaner through that just to make sure it's clear. Going to clear off the face of that. So yeah, so we've cleaned down through there, through the pipe, and clean off the face. So that's the vaporizer or fifth injector down there. It's all been put back together. Finally we're there. No DTCs. Okay, that was a long day, but we got there in the end. I had to do many tricks. I've done a couple of things off camera. So I had to disconnect the battery to get the fault to reset. And what I'd done was the particle matter percentage. To get that down, I used some heat on the exhaust temperature sensor to get it down, because we couldn't reset it, and to regen it was going to take all day. So, but yeah, we got there in the finish, and obviously we lost some coolant when we took out the fifth injector or the vaporizer. But yeah, it's all sorted now. No more faults on the dash there. See you on the next video.